Hey guys. Okay, so this is
Episode 9.
episode 9. Yeah, Southern Beer Review, and we are actually back at the Hi Wire Brewing Company here in Birmingham. We were here a couple of weeks ago when we did a podcast on the Old North Lager, and as we mentioned last time, Hi Wire Brewery is headquartered in Asheville, North Carolina, and if you're looking for a place to go on a beer trip, that would be at the top of my list. One quick thing real quick that I learned from one of the bartenders a minute ago, Hi Wire actually only brews their beer in Asheville and then they ship it to their locations all over the Southeast. The head brewer at Hi Wire will come to Birmingham and brew only if they're doing a small batch. So what I would suggest you do, which I just did 5 minutes ago, is get on Instagram and follow Hi Wire Brewing Birmingham, and then that'll make you aware of the small batches they do. And then John's going to tell you guys about what we're having this time for episode 9.
Yeah, well, we really enjoyed the Old North Lager the last time we were here. In fact, it may be our highest rated beer.
I think it is, yep.
And we both took a 12-pack to go of that and have been enjoying it since at our respective houses. But we thought we'd give something a slightly different. This is a Dunkel Lager. So it's still a lager from Hi Wire, but it's a Dunkel, which is basically a dark German beer. And I'm excited about it. It's about 5.5% in alcohol. And based on my Old North experience, I'm really excited to give this a taste.
And John, I know I don't usually make a big deal out of this because I don't let this define how a beer is, but this has a great color to it.
It really does.
Like
yeah. It's a beautiful
nice
beer.
amber color. So
brownish amber, beautiful.
Yep.
Color.
All right, so we're gonna taste it for the first time. We'll see what we think. It's the first thing I thought when I tasted it is it has similar qualities to the Old North that we had a couple weeks ago.
I would agree, and I don't know if any of you watched that video, but I got a little carried away and drained mine. It was so drinkable, and we've been to a couple breweries today and had a few beers, and this is on first sip, this is the best beer I've had today.
Yeah, same. I would agree. And again, I mentioned this I think when we did the Old North Lager. The older I've gotten, and I know I sound like I'm telling a story from your parents' point of view, but the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate Pilsners and lagers. They're just easier to drink. What I really like is a variation on a lager.
Yeah.
Like a dark lager or a light lager, doing something a little bit different. And
yeah, there's a hint of caramel in this, I think.
Right.
Maybe I'm calling that wrong, but it's a hint of something that I would call caramel, and it's got a really nice maltiness. Not overly sweet, but just a touch, like a hint of sweetness.
Well, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it traditionally difficult or more difficult to brew lagers because they demand extremely cold temperatures?
Yeah, in my understanding, and I'm not an expert, neither one of us are experts. We're just guys that like beer, I think, as we've said before. But my understanding is that the lagering process typically takes colder temperatures, so it might be easier to do that if you're in a northern climate, because you might be able to do it somewhere outdoors, even like in a cave or something. But here in the South, you have to actually have the refrigeration to do it. But of course, most people do now. But yeah, I think it is. I think to get a good balanced Pilsner lager, I think the process is a little bit more delicate.
An interesting thing to me is, when you think of complex beers, you don't always think of lagers, you think of IPAs, but it's more difficult to brew these because of the refrigeration needed.
And I really appreciate the balance of this beer too, because it does have just a twang of hop bitterness, but also has that good malt that comes through, and it's a very, very balanced beer. It reminds me a little bit of a Samuel Adams Boston Lager, a little bit.
And the good news is, while it's good and similar to the beer we previewed here last time we were here, there is a distinct difference between this and the Old North Lager.
Yeah.
So
for sure, yeah.
All right, John. So what do you think? You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I don't quite like this as much as the Old North Lager, but I really like this. I could see this as on a Saturday at the lake, spring day. I could see me alternate between the Old North and then this at 5.5 and drinking quite a few of these. I would say I'm going to give this an 8.5. Very solid choice.
That is, and that's interesting you said that, because initially my number's pretty close too. I immediately thought 8 on this, and I think we both gave the Old North a 9.
Yep.
So this comes in at 8.25, which is out of a rating of 10, that's pretty good quality beer. And again, but listen, it's like anything else. We can give an 8.25 rating to a beer, but if you don't like lagers, it's probably not for you. If you'd rather have something else, but if you're a fan of lagers, you want something crisp, especially on a summer day, I think the Dunkel Lager from Hi Wire is the way to go.
Yeah, and we try to review a little bit of everything on this channel. Other than sours, I can say I'm not saying we'll never review a sour, but William and I both agree that we have not yet understood the sour phenomenon. So that may be a factor of old age, but we don't get sours. I don't like sours, but every other style we'll probably review it sometime or another. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button.
All right, guys, to finish us up here, again, this is Hi Wire. By the way, Hi Wire has an amazing space. There's an outdoor area here, and they've got a fire pit going. The indoor area is huge, and they've got games, TVs. So come on down and experience Hi Wire Birmingham. We appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. Thanks.
We're going to say goodbye and enjoy the rest of these beers. Have a good one.